Welcome to the next episode of Joff's World Tour. I'm taking my motorbike, Tigger, to as many countries around the world as we can get to. In the last episode, we had got as far as Bulgaria, and in this episode, we're going to see more of Bulgaria, and then we're going to cross into Turkey, and there are some interesting things to see there too. If you like this episode, click subscribe, and you'll be amongst the first to see where we go next. So this is Moto Camp Bulgaria. I'm the only person with a tent. The rest of them are all sleeping in the cabins. But I'll just take you through a quick tour around. And a couple of bikes parked here. This one's a nice round the world step through moped. Nice to see a big Triumph sign up on the wall. Harley Davidson parking only. And this is the little bar. So parked over here, you can just see Tigger parked there. Next to that is David's bike. David is from Grantown-on-Spey and he's heading to Romania. Up here, the red one is the bike of a German guy who's just come here from Georgia, through Georgia and Turkey and heading back to Germany. The GS belongs to a French guy who I didn't speak to. And the white one, if you can see it there, that's a Harley that belongs to a couple from Ukraine. And of course yesterday I was also talking to Violetta, who's just finished doing a world tour on her Harley. Great place to chat to people. Lots to learn. Makes me feel like a real beginner at this.
And how many kilometers do you have on the clock?
34,000. Plenty more to go. Oh, another bright morning. David and I are off together to go and visit the Buzludzha monument, because David saw it earlier in the week, but not on a nice sunny day like today. So we're off together to go and see it, and then we'll separate and I'll head on to Plovdiv and he's going north to Romania. Fun ride up to here, and there up on the hill is the Buzludzha monument. is the Buzludzha monument, built to commemorate the first meeting of the Bulgarian Communist Party, apparently. Known locally as the Flying Saucer. Well, it's not short of architectural drama, is it?
It's not short of it.
No.
No, it certainly makes a statement.
That is dramatic. So, Buzludzha fun. I'm just going to follow David back down. Czech bikers there who've just come from Georgia, so I'll keep meeting these well-seasoned bikers who've done the Georgia run. Well, that was a nice little interlude. I've said goodbye to David. He's going the opposite direction to me now. So I've got a couple of hours ride now into Plovdiv. I'll need to stop for lunch. But here we are. Back heading south before, after Plovdiv, hopefully we'll head east again into Turkey. It's a nice stop for coffee and a snack at a roadside cafe. Kind of roadside cafe that I didn't find anywhere in Romania. So already Bulgaria's scoring points for me. Hi, pleased to meet you.
If you want, just to see when you start.
Yeah. Here I am, arrived in my Airbnb in Plovdiv. It's 33, 34 degrees centigrade here at the moment, so pretty hot. I'll just turn the camera around. So there you are, you can see Tigger in his own courtyard, and I've got an electronic button to open the gate, so he's nice and secure. It's a nice room I've got. It's a shower room, kettle, sink, fridge, and walking distance from the town centre, so this is perfect for me. I'm going to have a shower because I'm sweating after driving here, and then I've got some maintenance to do on Tigger. Not done his chain or tyres for quite a while, and then tomorrow morning it's up and into Plovdiv.
Over here is a model of the stadium, which is still underneath the central street. And what I told you to take a look at right over here, were the ruins of this part of the stadium.
This is Plovdiv Old Town, and this part of Plovdiv is characterized by these Bulgarian revivalist designs of buildings from the 19th century, when Bulgaria was trying to become independent from the Ottoman Empire. And I'm now in the area called the Cabana, which means a maze. And the story is that it was a kind of shanty town, which burnt down 100 years ago. And it's since been rebuilt in all these 1920s style buildings. And it was still quite a rundown area until recently, but they've now kind of repurposed it and tidied it up and made it all pedestrianised, so that it's now full of all these cute little cafes and artists' workshops. So a very trendy area now. Well, I just filmed a little bit of the walking tour I've been on with Pavel, Plovdiv walking tours, and I can't tell you everything that he's told me. The history of Plovdiv goes back 6,000 years, and there's stories and stories and stories. But here I am sitting in the ancient theatre. Which apparently was completely buried, but a man digging in his garden one day found one of the Roman columns, and they uncovered all of the rest over a period of time. Plovdiv's a great place. It's got Greek history, Roman history, Byzantine history. Fantastic. Loving it here. Heading back to my apartment now. I'm going to cool off for a couple of hours, make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. We've got the border crossing into Turkey tomorrow, so I just need to make sure I've got all my paperwork in order. Yeah, we'll let the temperature drop a bit. I'll need to feed myself later, but that's it for Plovdiv. Turkey tomorrow. Well, I've enjoyed my time in Plovdiv. It's time to get going. Got to head into Turkey. My Garmin says it's only 3 hours ride away, but somehow I suspect it's going to be longer than that. I'm expecting at least 2 hours delay at the border, which will make it a 5-hour day. It says 21 degrees on Tigger's dashboard at the moment. It's going to get hotter again. I think at the border it's going to be kind of baking hot, and not really looking forward to that part of it. Just filled up with petrol. It's about £1.20 a litre here. Don't know what it will be in Turkey, but I'll fill up while I'm here. Got some Bulgarian cash to use up, so I've used that up. Bought myself a sandwich for later because I don't really know how the day is going to pan out. I can see Istanbul on the road signs, which feels very exotic. When I go into Turkey, I'm not going to go to Istanbul. It's too big and too complicated. And most of the bikers that I've spoken to have said, oh, don't go near the place. But it's still quite exciting to see it there on the road signs. I've come up to a massive line of trucks, which normally means you're approaching a border. So I think the Turkish border must be not far ahead. Not sure how far, but I think we'll be there shortly. So I'm going to have to choose the non-EU lane somewhere up here. That seems lanes 7 to 8. This border doesn't seem quite as chaotic as the Bulgarian border was at Romania. But at the moment I can't see the lane numbers. Just climbing up towards 28, 29. So I'm hoping it doesn't take too long. Well, that was the easy part. That's me out of Bulgaria. And now for the tricky part, getting into Turkey. It is, there's the big Turkey sign. Let's see how we do. Well, I'm aware that I need to buy insurance for Tigger, for Turkey, because my UK insurance won't cover me here. But there was nowhere here to buy it, so maybe I have to go through the Turkish border and buy it on the Turkish side. A couple of other bikers just gone past, but I doubt whether they're British. But I'll just tag on behind them anyway, you never know. Oh, that's me stamped in. And I'm told that I can buy insurance over here somewhere. Not quite sure where, but hopefully it will become apparent. I just need to come over here and park. And go to UMAT. Then go back to customs. Well, that took a while, but they've said I can go. So I'm just going to eat my sandwich now and then hopefully get out of here and onto the roads. I knew this border crossing wasn't going to be easy and not been too complicated, but the queue at the insurance place, well, not really the queue at the insurance. Insurance was simple enough. €27 got me 3 months of insurance for Tigger in Turkey, and I had to do that because my UK insurance doesn't cover me in Turkey. Most of the European bikers I've met on this trip, their EU insurance does cover Turkey, but my UK insurance doesn't. So I had to pay for insurance, and that was quick and easy, but then I had to queue up at the police checkpoint to get all of my documents reviewed with the insurance, make sure everything was in order, and that was an hour and a half's queue. And some of the people in the queue had queued for an hour and a half, been sent away, and then had to queue for another hour and a half when they came back. So that took a bit of time, but we're here now. So there was one more last minute check there, and I'm through. Here I am, I'm in Turkey. Temperature gauge says 30 degrees, and here we are in Turkey. I think this is country number 14 of the trip. Come on then, Tigger, let's go and see what Turkey has for us. Today's just been a bit of a highway schlep through Bulgaria and now through Turkey. I didn't want to do anything complicated today because I knew I had that border crossing to deal with. And before long now I'll be arriving in Korlu, which is a little town on the coast of the Sea of Marmara. And I'm quite looking forward to getting there and cooling myself down, cooling Tigger down. I think he's running quite hot at the moment. I can feel the heat in my boots. So it's here somewhere. I think it's this block here, but I don't know how to get in. After all the effort of getting through the border and getting into Turkey, I think Airbnb has done me proud today. Here's Tigger, parked down there where I can see him. I get my own little balcony, my own kitchen, and my own bathroom and my own bedroom, and the whole apartment for the night for £31. I really can't complain about that. I look a mess. I'll need a shower, I'll sort that out. There's lots of cafes and restaurants down the street. So yeah, this was quite a long, complicated day. But I'm here. I'm in Turkey. Looking around the apartment, and here's what I find. I might have to read that later. Had a very relaxing stay here in my first night in Turkey, in a very lovely apartment belonging to Timur. 9:30 in the morning. It's already 27 degrees. It feels hotter. And I'm off to Assos today. First thing I need to do though is find some petrol. It's got 68 kilometers on the range, and off we go. Okay, all filled up. Slightly different process here in Turkey. Had to not allowed to fill the bike myself, and then I have to take the receipt from the guy in the forecourt up to the till, and then bring the receipt back from the till back to the guy in the forecourt before he let me drive away. But that's all part of the fun of visiting different countries. So we're now up to 26 degrees centigrade, and got a 4-hour ride ahead of me, including a ferry crossing. So today is going to be fun. It's very hazy over there, but you can just about see, I hope, the sea. That's the Sea of Marmara. And if I followed it backwards from here behind me, that would take me to the Bosphorus and to Istanbul. But I'm not going that way. I'm going forward this way and going to head towards Çanakkale. Come through a toll gate onto this massive toll road with no traffic on it. Quite like to get onto some smaller twisty roads before long, but this part of Turkey just seems to be full of dual carriageways and toll roads. And I'll live with them for now, but it would be nice to get onto something twistier. I can see twistier roads on the sat-nav. So maybe need to change the sat-nav settings to take me somewhere a bit more interesting. Well, the toll roads may be a bit boring to ride, but the service stations are absolutely pristine. Special parking spaces for motorbikes, everything clean. It's worth the toll road money just for that. Paid for my coffee there at the service station with cash, banknotes, and my wad of Turkish lira is now kind of enormous. It's reported here today that inflation in Turkey has gone up to 40%. Ahead of me there is the suspension bridge that crosses the Dardanelle Straits. That's a pretty dramatic bridge, but I've asked the sat-nav not to take me that way. So we're going to go under the bridge and along the coast, and we're going to go and find the ferry. I think that's going to be more fun. Over there is the ferry that we're going to board, which is going to take us across to Çanakkale over there, and then continue our journey down that side of the Dardanelle Straits, past the ruins of Troy and on to the ruins of Assos a bit further on today.
That's fairly straightforward getting on. Not quite sure how long the ferry ride takes. Not long, I don't think.
I do always love a ferry ride as part of a bike trip, and this is a spectacular one. Over here we've got a fortress in the background there. As I've said, riding along, this is the Dardanelle Straits. Everything that goes through the Bosphorus goes up here as well. It's a very busy shipping lane. And there's Tigger down there. Just wait until we get to the other side. The other side is Kanakali, and that's where we'll pick up the story.
Arriving in Kanakali. Just had a nice chat with the guy behind me. He said his name was Ignat. And he's on a 2-week holiday riding his Bajaj Dominator. I had to chat using Google Translate because he's got no English and I've got no Turkish. But still, we shared a cup of tea and that was quite nice. Ferry spits you out straight into the town centre of Kanakali. It's a very busy place. So I've just turned off the dual carriageway and this is the road down to the coast. Well, it's going up at the moment, but twisty-turny road down to the coast, which hopefully leads to the accommodation that I've booked for tonight. Oh, where are you taking me, Garmin? This is something of a mystery tour. Over there, that is some view. Look at that. Look at that. Ears are popping as we come down here. That view is unbelievable. Out to a slightly more substantial road. And Should be there in about 3 kilometres.
This is a pretty cool place. I've got my own little cabin. Tigger's parked outside in the shade. Close to quite a busy road, but that's not going to bother me. And got my own little desk here for doing some work, for sorting out routes and planning the next few days of the ride. So this is great. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video. In the next episode, we're going to visit the ancient ruins of Troy, the Acropolis at Assos, and, well, where we go after that, you'll have to watch the video to find out. If you want to see it, click subscribe and you'll be amongst the first.